You won't believe what happened at my daughter's birthday party. It started out as a perfect day, a day filled with laughter, balloons floating against the bright blue sky, and the delicious smell of barbecue drifting through the backyard. But little did we know, one unexpected moment would turn everything upside down. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Oh, and before we dive deep into this crazy story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you're enjoying it so far, and drop a comment below if you've ever had a family gathering that went a little out of control. All right, let me set the scene. It was my daughter Emma's 6th birthday. She had been counting down the days for months, telling anyone who would listen about her big girl birthday party. We had rented out a little section of the park, ordered a beautiful cake, 3 tiers, pink and purple with little butterflies cascading down the sides, and invited all our closest family and friends. Emma had even picked out a sparkly dress that she twirled around in for days leading up to her big celebration. Everyone arrived in high spirits: my parents, cousins, childhood friends, and of course, my sister Ava. Now, Ava and I have always had that typical sibling relationship. Lots of love, lots of bickering, and definitely lots of playful pranks growing up. But what happened next was something no one could have predicted. After a few hours of games, presents, and pure chaos, as is tradition when kids are involved, it was time for the cake. We gathered everyone around, lit the candles, and started singing Happy Birthday. Emma's face was glowing with excitement, her little hands clapping in rhythm with the song. She closed her eyes tight, made a wish, and blew out the candles with a dramatic puff of air. The applause and cheers erupted, and I stepped forward with the knife to cut the first slice. And that's when it happened. Ava, with a mischievous grin plastered across her face, crept up behind Emma, holding a massive handful of frosting-covered cake. Before I could even process what was happening, she smooshed it, smack, right into Emma's face. For a moment, there was complete silence. Time felt like it stopped. Emma stood there, her face dripping in pink frosting, her dress ruined, her wide eyes staring at Ava. And then she started to cry. Not the funny "I'm pretending to cry" kind of tears, real heartbroken sobs. My heart dropped. This was her special day, and Ava, in her usual playful way, had crossed the line without realizing it. Immediately, everyone sprang into action. I scooped Emma into my arms, whispering reassurances and promising that everything was okay. My mom was dabbing at her face with napkins, and my husband was trying to salvage the remains of the cake. And Ava, well, Ava stood there frozen, her face shifting from smug satisfaction to horrified guilt. "I thought it would be funny," she blurted out, her voice rising with panic. "We always used to do that. Yeah, when we were teenagers, maybe. Not when the birthday girl was a 6-year-old wearing her dream dress." Emma clung to me, her little sobs starting to slow down. But the damage was done. I looked over at Ava, who was now fidgeting nervously. I could see she felt terrible. But at that moment, I was too focused on calming my daughter. We managed to get Emma cleaned up. Thank goodness I had brought a backup dress just in case, and tried to salvage the party spirit. Kids are resilient, and soon enough, Emma was running around again, laughing and playing. But there was still a tension hanging in the air, a silent question. Was Ava going to make it right? Well, she did. And oh boy, did she ever. About an hour later, after most of the cake had been eaten, what was left of it anyway, Ava stood up on one of the picnic tables. She clinked a plastic cup with a spoon, calling for everyone's attention. "Hey everyone," she said, her voice shaking a little. "I just wanted to say, I'm really sorry. I thought I was being funny, but I realize now that it wasn't funny at all." She turned to Emma, who was munching on a cupcake, frosting still smeared faintly around her mouth. "Emma, you are the most special girl, and you deserve to feel like a princess today. So I have something for you." She reached into a tote bag and pulled out a wrapped box, big and covered in bright, sparkly paper. Emma's eyes lit up immediately. She practically sprinted to the table to grab it. "I hope this makes up for it," Ava said. Emma tore into the paper like it was Christmas morning. Inside was a beautiful, limited edition doll she had been begging for, the one that was nearly impossible to find in stores. Emma gasped so loudly that everyone around her laughed. She hugged the doll tight, then much to everyone's surprise, she ran up to Ava and hugged her too, frosting and all. Cue the collective "oh" from the crowd. The party spirit returned full force after that. Games resumed, parents chatted and laughed, kids ran wild with their new sugar highs. Ava even helped organize a last-minute scavenger hunt to distract the kids while we packed up. Later that evening, after the guests had left and the sun was beginning to dip low in the sky, Ava and I sat together on the porch steps, watching Emma and her cousins chase fireflies. "I'm sorry," she said again, nudging me with her elbow. "I know," I said. "You made it right. I guess I didn't realize she's not a little prankster like we were." "She's her own little person," I agreed, "and she's going to remember today. But thanks to you, she'll remember the happy ending too." We sat in companionable silence for a moment, watching as Emma twirled with her new doll under the golden sunset. "You know," Ava said, a mischievous glint returning to her eye, "if it had been you up there, you'd have gotten a second cake in the face?" I laughed, shaking my head. "You're probably right. Family. You can't live with them, you can't live without them, and sometimes they smash cake in your kid's face and still manage to make everything okay." If you enjoyed the story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more crazy family tales, and leave a comment below telling me about the wildest thing that's ever happened at one of your parties. I love reading your stories, and who knows, maybe I'll feature one in a future video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, stay sweet, stay kind, and remember, sometimes even a cake disaster can turn into a memory you'll cherish forever.